Drum Show. I'm Nina, and today we're interviewing a very special drummer, Mr. Zeke Martin.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
So let's get right into this.
Okay.
Tell me about the equipment that you use. What kind of equipment are you using? What kind of endorsements do you have?
Well, first off, the drums is Creation Drums. They're out of New Jersey. I met them maybe a couple years ago, and they're a custom drum company, meaning that whatever my imagination wants, I can pretty much have.
So is this your design here?
Yeah, this is my design actually. Different sizes than your standard size. This is actually 10 by 7, 12 by 7. Normally you'd have maybe like a 12 by 8, which is kind of a little bit standard size. 14 by 14, which is a very standard size. 15 by 14, and this is my signature snare drum.
This is a very unique snare drum, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it is. It actually has 18 air holes, and I like a really dry sounding snare. So when you hit the snare, all the air goes through it, and basically, normally, you know, maybe you might hit a snare and you hear that ding kind of sound afterwards. This is not going to have it because the air is going to go through it and take that away and give that nice dry sound.
Right.
So yeah, so this is the Zeke Martin Special. And then my bass drum is 20 inch by 17, so it's nice and deep. Let's see, cymbals. It's this company out of Turkey. This guy named Murat Duril, who has been making cymbals for years. And actually Creation, Greg Abram, who's the president of Creation, turned me on to him. And was able to, you know, actually, the thing that's really cool about these cymbals is that they're custom cymbals, meaning that I actually got to design them. This 18-inch crash is my design. And so when he said, you know, what do you want for cymbals? I said, well, I want a 20-inch ride, you know, for my drum kit. He's like, okay, well, how do you want it? In a box sent to me. He's like, no, how do you want it? Like how
He's
thick?
talking about the bell and all those things.
Yeah, so he's talking about like how far he wants the bell away from the edge and how thick and, you know, just all the different dimensions of a cymbal. So it really made me think. I went out and bought myself a food scale and started weighing cymbals and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, these are custom cymbals.
You have to be pretty knowledgeable about your sound to
Yes.
know what you want.
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, the other cymbals that I had were from another company, shall remain nameless. But the sound was kind of a little bit higher pitched. And so this is a little bit darker, which I actually kind of like. Older, hopefully a little wiser. And I like the darker sound a little bit more than the really bright sound.
And does that dark sound work for the type of music that you really love to play?
You know, actually it does. I was actually kind of worried that it wouldn't, but it does. It works for, you know, all the different styles that I play, which is from rock to jazz to funk to reggae, everything. Let's see.
What about your sticks?
My sticks, yes. Vic Firth, the way to go. Vic Firth.
It's an endorsement, by the way.
Yes, I actually just about a month ago went on their artist roster, so I'm really excited about that. I use an AS8D, which has a round tip, which my father used as well. Not AS8D, but a round tip.
Right, your father, the great Stuart Martin.
Exactly. So he used the round tip, and I actually really like the response of it. I like the tone it gives, and I really like the sound that it puts off compared to the regular standard tip on a drumstick. Let's see, I am endorsed with Kickport, which is hard to describe. Something you basically put in your bass drum to get a fuller sound. I have cymbal covers, which is called Cymbag. It's a company out of Mexico. Let's see, I have a cymbal case company, which is called Mono Cases. And then another one which I'm actually wearing, which is drum tags. And that's about it.
That's about it. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, not everybody is as lucky to have endorsements with different companies, and you have endorsements for your drums and for your cymbals and all those things. So
Yeah.
that says a lot about you.
Oh, thank you. I'm really blessed. I'm really lucky and very fortunate to have all this and such great companies, to support my job,
Right.
what I do for a living.
So how long have you been doing this for a living?
Let's see. I started when I was 12. My first professional gig was with Steve Lacy when I was 12 in Paris.
Right?
So
That's not a bad place to start.
no, it's not. It's actually pretty cool. I'd say professionally for about 20 years. So yeah.
How's that going for you?
So far so good. Knock on wood. So far so good. It's been great. I love it. There's great ups and the downs. They're there too, but it's been great. I love it.
So in all those 20 years, I'm sure that there have been drummers that have come in and come out. Who are let's say your top 3 that you really admire?
Top 3. Well, obviously the first and foremost for me is my father, is Stu. He never really pushed me into playing drums. Actually, no one in my family did. If I did it, great. If I didn't, that's okay too. But he definitely is one of the tops for me. And then I studied with a guy named Ron Savage, who at the time was teaching at Berkeley. And then he went on to, now he's like some big wig at Berkeley. He's like in charge of ensembles or something like that. I don't really know off the top of my head. Another big influence for me is Dennis Chambers. I remember the first time I heard him play was someone gave me a CD and said, "Here, check this out." And it was P-Funk All-Stars 1987 or something like that, 86. And I just heard this ginormous drum fill. I was like, wow, I want to do that. And so I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, so I would say those were definitely my top 3. I mean, I have tons of favorites. I mean, there's tons, I do a lot of teaching. And I even learn from my students. My students will sit down at the drum set and they might do something and say, "Hey, how'd you do that?" So always trying to learn from anyone and everyone.
So in that learning process, you're playing all around different areas, the New England area and around the world, and who are you playing with?
I started my own band in 2000.
Okay.
The Zeke Project. And
That's a good name.
yeah, it works. And I basically have been trying to get my band off the ground. We're finishing up our 4th CD entitled 4. Be out real soon. I'm hoping. Let's see, people that I've played with. I've played with who's who in Boston, from Andre Ward to Herman Johnson to Hakeem Law to Elon Trotman to just tons of blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots
of players.
Yeah, lots of players, tons of people, and been very lucky to open up for. Let's see, who was it? The Funk Brothers. Let's see, Alioli Woodson from the Temptations. Let's see, there was someone else. Oh, what's that group called? Oh man, it's on the tip of my finger. Neville Brothers, that's it.
Right,
The Neville
okay.
Brothers. And then many others, so it's been great. It's a ongoing journey.
Yeah.
So I really am looking especially for my band.
Yeah.
Especially for my band, which is starting to kind of get into our own niche. And we went on tour to Malaysia a couple times last year and the year before, which was just amazing. It was so great. I grew up in Europe, and so going back to Malaysia, or going to Malaysia, going back overseas, was just so nice because it was very familiar about how the people interact with music and how they sit there and really listen and really are connecting with the band.
I've heard they have a great appreciation for the music. Is that how you
Yeah.
feel when you're on
Yeah,
stage?
it's like they're like really listening to you intently. And here, there are some people that do, but there are times when you're playing and there's not a soul that's listening to you.
Yeah, your background music and everybody just
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, so how you doing? And just
Right,
eating
right.
and not really paying attention to the band. So, but yeah, that was a great experience, and I'm hoping to go back for sure. And then the ultimate is like I definitely love my band to be on that next level. Sharing sharing a festival stage with Mike Stern or Marcus Mello.
That would be awesome.
Or opening up for Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Or opening up for Sting or something like that,
If you do that, you got to give me tickets to the show.
Oh, of course, you got it. You'll be right there, right by my side, always. Always, always.